The Wavell Star Show is proudly brought to you at 2322 9th Avenue North in Regina, Saskatchewan. As you can see, they have made the brand new Wavell 306 shirts. And if you want one, you can hit me up, or you can head on down to 29th Avenue North to the 306 shop. Hey, welcome to the Wavell Star Show. I'm your host, First Nation Sensation, Wavell Star, coming to Facebook Live with another edition of the RASSLER'S Roundtable. We have some special guests with us here tonight. We have the one, the only, Dalby. What's up, man?
Not much, man. I've been watching this thing for a few weeks now and just wondering, did I make enough of an impact in my wrestling career to get the invite to this? And then there it was. There was the invite this morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, we had to put in a little bit of time first. We didn't want to bring you on before we got acclimated with doing this shit off the fly, right? Because you're a professional at this. We didn't want to embarrass ourselves. Yeah, Jordan, Dirty Duke Durango, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for having me on again. And a quick shout to Dalby. Don't think you didn't make an impact, because you're definitely on my short list of guys to get on the show. Again, with Wavell's point, being that you're a pro and I'm a jackass, I wanted to make sure that I at least had 20, 30 episodes under my belt before I start talking to guys like you and Mike McGuire.
Yeah. And the same way that we carried you guys, it's your turn to carry us now.
Sorry, I sound totally
Red Thunder, Morris Neepoos, what's up, my man? Tansigya.
Oh, Manato, what kaya?
Not bad, man.
Miyos. Hey, Duke, Dolby, how you guys
Red
doing?
Thunder.
Good, bud.
Good.
Hey, am I allowed to call you Res Thunder? Can I get away with that one? We talked about this before, and I said, has anyone actually ever called you Res Thunder? And he's like, no, I can't believe no one's ever called me that.
Ever.
It does seem like, especially if you were working heel, that seems like that's low-hanging fruit for a fan.
Well, you know what disappointed me the most is it took me all this time. I just came up with Res Thunder like a month ago.
Yeah, why did we not think of that long ago, man?
I'm extremely disappointed with us as a group, fellas.
I know. Hey, did you guys do anything for Father's Day?
I took my kids swimming, and then they went to sleep early, and that was the gift.
Nice. Yeah.
Make it seem like it's about them, right? We're going to go to the pool. It's going to be great. You're going to swim for an hour, and then I'm going to play video games all night because you're going to be in bed by 7.
Yeah, that's a great night.
That's wisdom. Dog.
I'm learning.
Yeah, for sure. Durango, did you guys get together or have anything in memorial? Or?
No, man. My wife and I kind of took it easy. My daughter lives up north, so we just kind of do what we call husbands and wife stay.
Right.
And, we just sort of chill or go play a round of golf or something. So, This was a chill year. Tried to do a little shopping. It was just nuts, so we just came home.
Right. I was with my kid up in Meadow Lake, so he was up there playing some hockey, and I had some business to do, so that was really good to spend some time with him. Of course, my dad passed away about a year and a half ago, so it was nice to be on the road with my son and really enjoying that time driving. Going to sports, man. Their sports are going to be happening again, right? Red Thunder.
Maybe even in Alberta.
Yeah. Maybe. Red Thunder, what'd you do for Father's Day, man?
I didn't really do much. I just stayed home and relaxed and reflected, like you, reflected on my dad.
Yeah.
I just chilled.
Yeah. Just take it easy, right?
Just take it easy.
Father's Day never ever used to be tough until you get older, and then there's more to it, right? There's more to it. Kind of like Christmas.
Kind of.
God,
right?
No
Tell me about it. So before we move on into some of the other questions, let's go around the horn and find out what quality of your dad or other father figure have you found that you have adopted yourself over the years, Dalby?
Oh, man, my stepdad used to make just the absolute shittiest jokes. And I'd roll my eyes all the way out of my skull when I was a kid. And now I catch myself as I see my kids' eyes rolling. And I'm like, oh, no, I've become the monster. I've lived long enough to become the villain.
Durango?
You know what, man? Probably the biggest thing I got from my dad is fucking with young people. You know what I mean? Like I'm always giving a young person somehow just a bad time, like pulling on their ear, or pinching them, or flicking them, or just always bugging somebody. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, my dad used to pester the shit out of us when I was a kid. So
Thunder,
My dad's work ethic.
work ethic.
Yeah.
You would have the serious answer.
I would.
Thanks a lot, Thunder.
I think the thing for me with my dad was like really careful to never mark out. He was always very skeptical. So if he was going to buy it, like say he's going to buy a vehicle or something, and the salesman is really putting it over as the best thing ever, he's like, yeah, it's not bad, it looks okay. I've seen better. You know, just like, and no rush. No rush. Like if we don't seal it today, that's okay. That's okay. I'll take my money elsewhere. You know, just to really learn, like to just take it easy and not rush into everything, because if you just kind of put on the blinders and fall for everything, man, be like Mark, right?
Well, you know what story I just told the young guy literally I told the story. Have you guys ever seen the movie Colors?
Yes.
With Robert De Niro and Sean Penn. If you haven't, you got to see this movie.
Yeah, man.
But there's a point in there where, you know, Sean Penn's always in a big rush to rush in and get the bad guy. And De Niro tells him a story. I'm going to clean it up here for our audience. But there's a young bull and an old bull, and they're sitting on a mountaintop.
Yeah.
And the young bull says, and there's a bunch of cows down the hill below. And the young bull says to the old bull, hey, let's run down there and have sex with one of those cows. And the old bull looks at the young bull and says, no, son, let's walk down there and have sex with all of those cows. That's the wisdom of experience.
Yeah, for sure. Just like in wrestling, right? Your first match, you're just out there, happy feet, trying to do a million moves within the first minute.
Yeah. Now we start off slow and taper off from there.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Don't go anywhere too fast. Don't be a hero.
You know, the crazy thing is, though, is you start slow and taper off from there, and you still get a bigger reaction than you did when you came out that first match and throwing a million punches.
Right. Totally, man. But people need to figure that shit out on their own, I guess. Here's another dad question. Dolby, lawn care, wild and natural or precisely manicured like a fucking golf course?
I was really pumped. I found out this year about, what do they call it? No Mow May. And it's this big environmental thing about, like, you shouldn't mow your grass in May. You should
Too early.
Let the weeds come through. Let the grass come through, because it gives this, like, natural habitat to bees and other insects, and it really helps the ecological cycle continue. And I was like, fuck yeah, I hate mowing. So this is great. I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah. So you're just like nothing. You have no attachment to it whatsoever.
No, I was never a big lawn guy. I did just buy a house that I'm moving into in August, and it has a nice lawn, and I feel like that's what's gonna push me over. Like, the place I'm in now, it's a rental. It was awful lawn when I got here, so like there was I pay a kid to come by once every couple of weeks and knock it down. Right. But now it's like I'm moving to a place that has a lawn, and it's man. I can't be the one I don't like mowing grass, but I can't be responsible for letting this art go to waste. Man, so now I'm worried that I'm going to switch sides.
A little bit of a contest, right? It's a little bit. It's a hidden. It's a kayfabe contest, is it not?
Yeah.
Durango.
No, man, it's pretty out in the open. It's
out in the open. It's not kayfabe at all.
Yeah, absolutely. When I moved from a place where I legit, and I'm proud to say this, watch, I'm going to dislocate my shoulder here. Myself and my neighbor, by far the best two lawns on the street.
Nice.
You could walk on my lawn at any time with no shoes on, because I didn't have a dog, and there was never a weed on my grass.
Right.
You know, I looked after that shit.
Yeah,
man. Now I moved into a new house, and I'm not saying this to call anybody out, but now I moved into a new house, and when we landscaped, I'm not Joe Environmental, I want to make that clear, but even I'm trying to do my part. So what I thought about is, okay, grass is actually the least environmentally friendly thing there is, because you waste so much water on it, you got to mow it, blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
So I've actually gone hardscape now, right? I've got plants in the beds, wood chips over top, irrigation underneath, drip irrigation, so I'm not wasting water.
Right.
Like, I bought in, boys. I bought in.
Right. Good for you, man. Good for you. So I live same condo, right? So I don't have to worry about that. But I got my dad's place. He's got the lawns there, right?
Right.
And it was his thing. So I feel like it's a responsibility to maintain it to that caliber, and that's tough to do, man. That's tough to do. Like, you can't just do that. That's not just like once a week type of shit, right? Got a cool lawnmower though. Nowadays you get those the battery powered, right? The cordless ones, And you know, as long as you got, you know, in the city, it's fine for these little lawns. Probably wouldn't work out on Musquetees very good, but but in Regina, they work just fine. And I guess the environmental part of that one is that the thing nowadays is like to not bag your clippings or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right,
you let them go back into the earth and whatnot.
Right, but they don't. They just fucking sit on top and they turn brown.
For that, realistically, you got to be cutting twice a week.
Yeah,
Because you got to be cut to get that short enough that it'll actually fall in.
Right,
It
right.
tells people to frig off.
Yeah, and you're wasting your blades too, right? Because you're
Yeah.
just you're cutting through grass that you already cut.
Yeah, eat a dick. I'm doing my best.
See, my condo in Regina, when I was living there, we had it was the backyard wasn't exactly huge, and about 3/4 of it was cement pad. So they decided, they're like, well, there's no point in putting grass in here because you run the lawnmower once this way, and then next week you could run it back the other way.
Right.
So they put in artificial turf.
Yeah.
But like it was like nice stuff. Like it felt like grass. Like my kids would run around in bare feet on it.
Really?
And I was just like, when I moved to Winnipeg,
Yeah.
and now I had this huge lawn, and I hated it because it was a lot of work. I looked into it. I was like, I want that artificial stuff that I had. It looked good. It felt good. It was easy. And then I saw the price. I was like, oh, never mind.
Right.
I'll mow.
Right. Did you notice one thing about Winnipeg is that the houses, they're all still like individual. Like you can tell that people put some thought into them and they are how they want them. Whereas it seems like in Regina, everything is just like space optimized, right? Piled like narrow and high and on top of each other, and everybody's balconies are facing each other, and it's
Oh, man, yeah. The condo, the place
So
I
cookie
lived,
cutter.
our backyard faced out to a park. So, like, our row all got, like, a decent view of a giant wood fence and then some trees on the other side. But in the middle, they had the two rows, and the backyards, like, faced each other. And I was like, that's a nightmare.
no kidding.
You wake up in the morning, you throw the blinds open. Let's face the day. Hi, Tim. How you doing? Put a shirt on. Thank you.
Please put a shirt on.
Literally shaking hands out the window. Morning.
Yeah, you got any sugar? Yeah, here. It's there you go.
Yeah. No eye contact. It's too awkward. No eye contact. Morris, how's your lawn, man?
I just mowed it today.
Oh yeah.
I'm sunburnt. I'm burnt everywhere. No hat, no sunglasses. Just mowed the lawn. Just cut
That's
it.
it.
It was wild. It was wild for a while, but now it's trim.
It's like a pandemic haircut.
Exactly.
Hey man, it's just like the twig and berries. You gotta cut the grass, make the house look.
Yeah. There's got
Yeah.
to be some vegetation management there, Red Thunder. I think that last time we determined that there probably wasn't nothing going on over there. Au natural, indigenous.
Not this Tim.
Frank. Okay, here's what I want to ask. Here's one thing that's kind of pissing me off or bugging me, and I don't know if you guys are on the same thing. So they're talking about like the vaccinations, right? Okay, let's do it. Let's get it done with. I went and I got the first jab, right, and it was with the Pfizer. And then after that, they're saying, okay, you just wait to get the Pfizer, and then you're done. And then all of a sudden, they're saying, no, it's okay. You can just stack. You can take a Pfizer the first time, and then whatever they have, you can take it, and it's fine. It's one and two.
Not only are they saying you can take whatever you want now, but I was reading this morning, we were kind of talking about it on the show, because Ontario, where I'm at now, they are short on Pfizer, which they were going hard on Pfizer, and now they're short on it. So they're pumping people with Moderna now, and they're telling people like Pfizer, Moderna, totally interchangeable, was a quote that I saw from a health official out here.
Fuck.
But they're also now saying that if you did AstraZeneca and then either Pfizer or Moderna, because the AstraZeneca is like a different kind of vaccine than the other two, they're like, it's actually even better because you're getting two different kinds of immunities. And it's like,
Right.
listen, I have no idea.
A greater spectrum. You're covering a greater spectrum.
I'm a radio DJ and former professional wrestling manager. I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but what I'm saying is even if this is 100% true, and why would I doubt that it is, then that's what you should have been saying since day one, so that
Right.
the tinfoil hat people aren't jumping up and being like, ha, caught him.
Yes, totally. Again, yeah. So yeah, a little bit is like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't know what to think about that. But you know, if it means Like, it's not a big deal to me, man. Like, you know, just give it. If it means that everyone's going to be cool with me and won't shun me.
Well, I'm booked for my second shot on the Thursday. I'm same as you, Pfizer gang for the first shot. I don't know which one that I'm getting for the second one. Maybe it was in the document. I didn't read it because I'm a good little sheep.
Yeah.
But if I show up to the pharmacy that I'm booked in at and they're like, all right, we've got Moderna for you this time, I'm not going to flip a table and walk out. I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, I would like to go to a concert this summer.
Right.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing about with going back quickly to the concern about mixing. Here's the thing. I'm an AstraZeneca, and I was signed up for a second AstraZeneca, and the reason I'm mixing is that I heard the States, I read a couple articles on Friday that said the States doesn't, the FDA, which is a dog shit organization anyways, doesn't recognize the AstraZeneca.
Yeah, man. You can't.
That was
So they might not let
one.
you travel if you have it. So you have to be able to show them you've had a Pfizer or Moderna.
They just released,
legit.
Earlier,
so I signed up to get a
early
Moderna vaccine.
Early this week or late last week, there was an announcement. Bruce Springsteen is doing a bunch of shows, and you can't buy a ticket to a Bruce Springsteen show if you're AstraZeneca vaccinated because it's not FDA approved, and you have to have. That's like in the fine print is you have to have an FDA approved vaccine to go see Bruce Springsteen. So now there's like it's the weirdest thing to watch Canadians.
Fucking
like,
Santa Claus is exposed.
I will slap
Santa
the shit
Claus's
out of Bruce
beard fell off his
Springsteen.
face.
But watching all these Canadians flip out like, I want to go see Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure you're going to be okay, but it is interesting.
But look at that. How could that not be at least like the opportunity is there to make a couple dollars, maybe a couple dollars, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm going to put on a concert. Everybody wants to go, but you got to take this fucking drug. Come on.
I think Pfizer did $725 million in the first quarter of this year.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, they're doing okay.
I don't think the shareholders at Pfizer are starving this year.
How much of that was dick pills, though?
Who cares?
I'm just saying, listen, they're not making all their money in one basket. They've diversified.
Well, here's the thing. As I barf that statistic out, actually, I have no frame of reference for what Pfizer did in the first quarter of last year. For all I know, they did $750 million.
They may have
a big down year this year.
They may have.
Yeah, you know, like now, that's the thing. I'm just barfing out these fucking noises that actually don't have any context. So disregard that comment.
You are the internet right now.
Indeed.
What do you think about that Thunder? Can you take different ones or your Muskegee?
Well, I'm not vaccinated yet. I haven't decided. So I'm like
really?
you guys.
Yeah.
Like you guys. I'm on that way. I'm on the fence. So me and the wife were talking. If we have to travel across, then I'll do it. But for now, I'm just on the fence. I'm not vaccinated. You know.
So on the fence because you don't like. Where does it come from? Like, is it distrust from the history, or
it's not so much distrust. It's just
faith in your own medicine.
No.
Sorry.
The thing I'm saying is that
help me out here.
The thing I'm saying is that these vaccines haven't been tested. You know, we're the guinea pigs, right?
Yeah.
So
and we have been before.
No, but Mo, mRNA vaccines have been in use, widely used in cancer therapies since like 2011. So they change up some proteins. So the way they're being applied is for sure new, but the technology itself isn't new.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's a big talking point. You know, is that like, it never has a vaccine gone from like necessity to production to delivery in such a rapid pace.
Yeah, boom.
But also, like, everything gets faster as time goes on. We make cars a hell of a lot faster now than we did back when they were first rolling off assembly lines. Like, technology gets better. And then again, like, honestly, like, if you believe that everything's on the up and up, and I'm not so much of a purist that I'm like, I just blindly trust everything.
Right.
Yeah. I generally have faith that this is all in good faith.
I trust my doctor, not the government.
Well, you guys, for me, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-mask. It's just, you know,
I saw you
I'm
were
right there. You know, I'm right there. You know, if I have to take it, I will.
Yeah,
I'm not
listen,
going to
Reds
go.
Thunder. If I get zombified, you have to get zombified.
Hey,
We're all going down together.
Uh-oh.
look who's here.
Johnny.
What is up, my
Brother.
man? How are you doing?
Apologies. I'm really sorry I'm late. I've been having all kinds of testicle difficulty.
I hate when that happens.
Cancerous kind, so we're good.
Oh, that's
Sorry, boys. How are you? Who's a zombie?
Yeah, no, but so we're just
when
talking
we're done
about.
with our vaccines.
Yeah, we're talking about. We're talking about. Is it okay to stack vaccines? Like to take the health people are saying it's okay to take the AstraZeneca in the first one and then the Moderna on the second one. Now, is it okay or is that a work?
I think it's all work. I think you're mixing meds. Like, if you got science guy number 1 who makes concoction A, and science guy number 2 who makes concoction B, you mix them and they don't have the same ingredient. It's the new concoction called.
Yep.
Durango's the new concoction. Give it all to
Yeah.
Put it in
Come
my
up with
vein.
some sort of cool stacker name.
Yeah.
The ultimate stacker
Load it up.
in vaccinations.
That's,
Yeah, the 3D stack, we'll call it, baby.
are you
We'll actually
immune to
we'll
radiation?
put 1/3
now, or are you,
Moderna,
like,
1/3
superhuman?
Pfizer, 1/3 AstraZeneca, and like maybe a half a cc of test in there just to be safe.
Really get you going.
You know, yeah, you gotta cover all your bases. Cover all your bases.
200 mgs of caffeine, a little bit of ephedrine and aspirin in there.
If you put it all
Well,
in
yeah,
one
man.
shot, it leaves fewer track marks, right? So that's just
Right?
It's just smart.
Yeah, yeah.
It's efficient.
Hey, if
See,
you
now
can be
we're
anything,
getting
be efficient,
someplace.
boys. If you can be anything, be efficient.
Optimize. Don't be wasteful. Here's the next question. And we're gonna go to Johnny Devine first because he's the newest and he's fresh. What are you gonna do as soon as all the restrictions are lifted? Will you immediately go back to pre-pandemic living or slowly taper into it? Are you freezing up? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
yeah. So I mean, for me, as soon as restrictions are lifted, it's back to business as usual.
Yeah.
And which in the fitness industry, I mean, you know, I'm excited to not have to ever wear a mask again, if possible.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, man.
at the time, whatever bases need to be covered. But you know, I'm excited to get back to business here.
Cool, man. What about you, Dolby?
I'm definitely like once things open up, getting back out there, being in radio, like a lot of our stuff is getting out into the community, different events, different concerts, different shows, different whatever. Like we can't even give away prizes right now unless we can email them to people, like gift cards and codes and things like that.
Right.
Like we were talking about
Weird shit.
here in Ontario when we hit stage 1 and we weren't having to stay in our homes anymore, when we were released from that order of like, me and my co-host are new to the station we're at. We're like, wouldn't it be cool for us to like hit the streets on a hot day, go down to the beaches here in Kingston, hand out some like water bottles to people? And our boss was like, whoa, no contact. No, you
What
can't.
the hell is the matter with you two?
Yeah.
Like you'd have to put like a koozie on the end of a hockey stick, put the bottle in there, hand it over to people. Like, just don't. So I'm
T-shirt
ready
launcher
for-
shooting water bottles at people.
I said we have to have a T-shirt cannon here somewhere. We just fire water bottles out that way.
There's
So
got to be.
I'm ready for things to open up so
Frozen?
that I can get back to doing what I like to do work-wise and stuff like that. My personal life, I mean, I'm happy to be able to take my kids to places like the swimming pool again, but I also I'm single dad in my late 30s. I don't go out that much
Yeah.
anyways.
Right.
So the restrictions are not what's holding back my social life, if we're all going to be completely honest here.
Right. Well, for me, not social life as well. The same thing. All I do is go to the gym. But as soon as I can, man, I think I'm like ditch the mask and all that crap. Unless I'm around people that are kind of like it bothers them or freaks them out, then I'll respect that or whatever. Right.
See, and I like that. And also, I do think there are still going to be places where I'm going to be okay with the mask. And it's places where it not necessarily COVID related, but just illness related in general. Like you see in like some Asian countries where the mask is just a general like temporary thing to keep safe. Like, I'm going on a flight in a few weeks, and I'm kind of pumped to wear my mask on an airplane because everybody else in that airplane is disgusting, whether I know them or not.
Yeah,
So,
in the breath.
There's still going to be some places that I will still, like, I'll keep a mask in the glove box of my car just because you never know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I am pumped to, like, walk into my building at work and not have to wear a mask all the way to the microphone.
Yeah, man. What about you, Durango?
Oh, that mask, I will burn them.
Yeah.
I will definitely meet, to your point, Wade, I'll definitely try and meet people where they're at, To Dalby's point, the thing holding back my social life is generally my face and overall poor attitude.
You know.
Yeah. I'm not in denial over it. No, I mean, here's the thing. We talk about all the restrictions and how hard they've been, and it's been, like you say, I mean, it's been fairly inconvenient. The biggest thing for me is probably, I didn't go out for dinner as much, so I might have saved a little money, and so that's... People, I don't know, man. It wasn't a big, wild inconvenience to me, so it's not like I've got this. But at the same time, I'd like to, as a guy that's broken his nose 7 times and has asthma, not wearing a mask would definitely be cool.
Yeah, but, same here, man.
At the same time, like, am I rushing in? No. So let's put it this way: as soon as I can travel, I am going to travel. Like probably this, October, November, I'm out.
Yeah, man. Already started.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm not afraid to go to Vegas. I enjoy the hell out of it. I will not be going to Vegas this fall. I will be going somewhere maybe in California, small resort.
Cauliflower Alley.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll go to Vegas.
Maybe. Red Thunder, what about you, man?
That to me is the biggest social experiment in the world.
Well, for me, I'm going to keep the mask. Use it if people are uncomfortable. Put it on.
The one you're wearing right now, Tim.
Yeah, that one. But I'm gonna really
humanity as a whole. I want
to head to Rocky Boy, go see family. I miss them so much.
Yeah.
Just cross that border, man. I go hug everybody over there, man. Even you guys.
I'd hug you.
Even us dirtbags, eh?
Even you dirtbags.
No, that's true. Like, moving out here to Ontario, I have family here that I haven't seen in like 2 decades. And it was like my grandmother. I haven't seen my grandmother since I got married 10 years ago. And now she lives like 2 hours away in her late 80s. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get to introduce my kids to my grandmother. It's going to be great. Maybe 2022 at this rate.
Right.
I'm the same with you, man. Like, just the idea of just seeing family again is really exciting.
Yeah, man.
There's no more coming up with excuses to skip Easter dinner. It's like, yes, I'm in. Let's go.
I'm in. Yep.
Yeah, man. For sure. Let's transition to the next point called Who is More Over? Johnny Devine. Halle Berry or J-Lo?
I'm not over. I'm leaving. J-Lo's far more over.
Dolby?
I'm trying to remember
not
the last
that Halle
thing.
Berry is...
I was just going to say, like, I'm trying to remember the last thing I heard about Halle Berry. And isn't she cast as, like, the Little Mermaid? Oh, no, that's somebody else. Yeah, it's got to be J-Lo. As far as I know, Halle Berry might be dead. So,
Is she alive?
I don't know.
Maybe I should do some research before I
Didn't she just cheat on Will Smith?
Somebody better set up.
Bang the Pew Boy on Will Smith.
She did that awful Catwoman movie, and then I think that was about it. So
yeah, I'm still pissed off when she did that shit with Fred Durst, man. That's the only reason that he brought her in for that video. No one knows what it's like. He totally booked her just so he could make out with her. You know that, right?
Would you not?
I did not say that.
Say what you want about Fred Durst. The man's a businessman. He knows what's up.
Yeah, man. Jordan, Dirty Duke, what do you say, Halle Berry or J-Lo?
I don't know, man. They both seem high maintenance to me. I'm out.
Okay. Thunder.
J-Lo.
Okay. Next one. This shoot back to if this is who is more over at Bayfield. Kelly Kapowski or Jesse Spano? Divine.
Oh. I'm going to have Kelly Kapowski on that one.
Okay.
Kapowski.
Dolby.
I have to agree with Divine. Spano was too high maintenance, man.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty high maintenance. Rango.
Yeah.
I'll air with Divine as well because I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
You don't? Come on, dude, you're lying.
Saved by the Bell, my guy.
You know I got good.
I got nothing.
You didn't watch Saved by the Bell? No.
What? Are we
I was
talking-
busy at wrestling practice, throwing people around.
Well, that's AC Slater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So AC
yeah, no,
Slater's girlfriend or
It
the
was Jesse
wife.
Spano.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh no, high maintenance. Frig off.
Both of them. Well, what about Kelly Kapowski when she went to Beverly Hills 90210? She was turned into the bad chick.
Oh, okay.
She
so you're
smoked
using
the-
her,
she
you're
smoked
using
the
their work
marijuana.
names. I'm all messed up, man. Okay. Yeah. No, she's pretty banging. Tiffany Amber Thiessen, she ain't hard on the eyes, man.
Tiffany Amber. Yes,
Yeah.
Tiffany Amber.
Yeah.
That was her name.
Call her by her government name.
Yeah, by her Christian name.
I love it. I love it. Red Thunder. What do you say?
I'm out. I don't
Okay,
know
you're-
what you're talking about.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, here's another one. Johnny Devine, Elvis Presley or Dwayne Johnson?
I'm gonna have to go with the good old Rock on this one, because Elvis was a pedophile and he married a 14-year-old. Like I did on that.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did
Priscilla
people
Presley
just
was like
fucking
13.
overlook that shit? Did people just
Priscilla was-
overlook that shit? Serious?
Yeah.
You just let it go. Brother was a fucking pedophile.
So over that. Wow.
racist.
You know what,
Fucking
man?
buck-
I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not defending any of that shit, but culturally, that was a different time. That shit happened all the time back then.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
I'm not saying it was right or wrong.
Absolutely,
I'm just saying.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, am I
So-
saying dog fighting is right? No,
Yeah,
but
absolutely,
culturally, in
but-
places that shit happens.
Right. Well, who's the other guy that did the same thing? Was
Yep.
it? There was another.
Jerry Lee Lewis, man.
Yeah.
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 What's up with that? There's got to be something.
Yeah.
It's like wrestlers
Yeah,
and
that's-
Percocets.
Style at the time.
Guys, they fall in love with their rats. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I got nothing on being attracted to a 13-year-old girl as a grown man. Like,
Well, I did not know that. I seriously did not know that. Then
Yeah,
why
no,
is he
man.
still so over? Well, why did he not get canceled?
because A, most importantly, he was white. B, it was a different time. If that was a black guy doing that, they would have hung
I
his
can't.
ass. Let's not bullshit.
Fucking blown away, man. Serious. That is crazy. Well, now we know.
Not to mention, if you come for Elvis, like the boomers are gonna kill you.
Yeah.
You wanna get, you
They're
wanna get
pissed right
canceled?
now. They
You better
are
be
so
I'm
pissed.
telling you,
You
man.
can't.
Like, I'm not saying his music was bad. I'm saying Elvis the person was a shithead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a
Using
piece of
Dwayne
shit.
Rock Johnson in that instance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a better
he
human
got a-
being, period.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then he
You know,
always
like
got
it's-
all
We
I'll give it
find
up
out all
and
this
eat those
weird
fucking
shit
peanut butter
about our
sandwiches.
heroes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a fucking, yeah,
Hey,
man.
man, I'll give you a fried peanut butter banana sandwich.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the heroes, okay, let's go to that. Dynamite or Brett? Oh.
Brett.
I'm
Are
gonna
you
go
okay?
Dynamite on this. They're just watching his dark side. Like, I feel for the guy, but he changed the whole business. He really did.
Sure did.
No
Dalby.
question. If it wasn't for Dynamite Kid, guys like me wouldn't have been in wrestling, and I don't want to take anything away from that.
Right.
But what you do outside the ring counts.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I grew
Legit.
up on Brett. You know, I discovered Dynamite more later in life of like becoming more of a fan and then delving back into things. So I was sort of able to view Dynamite through the entire lens of like not only what you would see in the ring, but then also what had come out about everything else. So whereas like to me, like growing up as a kid, it was like if I get these sunglasses put on my face sitting in the front row, I could die. Like just
Yeah.
a huge Brett guy when I was growing up. So it would have to be Brett for me.
Right. That's a tough one. That's a tough
Yeah.
because
Well, yeah.
Well, and some of it depends. If we're just talking straight out in ring work, it's probably Dynamite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there was nobody better. But
Yeah, but we're not. We're saying who's more over. So it depends on what's more over to you. Is it better to be the in-ring technician or the overall awareness professional?
If we were talking straight up, who was going to be more over? I'd have to change my answer to Dynamite. In today's market, Dynamite would have fucking blown people's minds.
Right. Like if you talk, like if he was on like NXT or something.
Nobody would. Let's put it this way: in today's day and age, and I have no problem saying this. Feel free to fucking at me, you punks. In today's day and age, these fucking kids wouldn't have worked with Dynamite. They would have been crying. Crying. He's so stiff. Yeah. Teach him how to work. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. He's a bully.
Yeah. Following him around. Probably fucking following him around before the match for like an hour. So do you know what you want to do yet? Do you just kind of want to talk? I just want to do with the arm if you just want to feed the arm.
How about I feed the fuck off? Leave me alone. I'll talk to you.
Right. No, I love what Raven used to do. Right, Raven used to just hide from him. But I was comfortable because I learned to work in Louisville before I worked with Raven, so I was totally fine with the not talking at all because it's okay to do it. And the only way you're gonna develop that shit is if you try it, right? Because it's probably the same thing with radio, is it not, Dolby?
Oh man, you can always tell when you're listening to someone on the radio. You can tell 100%. I saw that, Thunder. He's showing off the TV.
Right on.
That's hilarious.
When you listen to someone on the radio, when it's someone by themselves, it can be a little harder to pick up. But when you listen to like a 2 or 3 person show on the radio, and everybody's coming in at the exact perfect time. Everybody's got this amazing one-liner. There's zero wasted words. The odds are they ran through it 3-4 times beforehand. And like this, it can sound super clean. The same way that a fully choreographed wrestling match can look really smooth. But sometimes it's in those gray areas where you're just getting from like the 1 point, hey, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. How we get there, we'll figure it out as we go. Sometimes that's where the best stuff is. And it's the same thing in wrestling. You see all these like old interviews with guys talking about like their favorite moments in the ring, and almost 100% of them are, I was out there with this guy and then someone in the crowd did something stupid and we just jumped on that and it was the best match we ever had. Stuff like that. It's not to say that the completely choreographed stuff in radio or wrestling is necessarily bad or wrong,
or doesn't have its place, because it does.
Everything has a place.
But it feels like you're shutting yourself off to making these memorable moments by establishing that we will start here, we will end here, we will do exactly this in the middle, and then you're just like, oh, okay, well,
you lose all the art. No more art, no more reading and engaging. It's just like memorizing shit and going through stuff, right?
And it was always interesting. Like when I was one of my runs as a manager with PWA in Edmonton, I was working with Andy Anderson, who of course vet
JT Atlas.
And I loved working with him because the young guys would come up to him and be like, hey, so you ready to go over the match? He'd be like, no, I mean, I want to do this. You want to do something? Okay, cool. See you out there.
He's a Memphis boy.
Managing a stable, and I had a lot of those other, like those younger guys who I was also managing. So I would go over to Andy, be like, hey, you need me for anything in the match today? All right, we'll figure it out. And then I would go over to the other guys, some of the tag guys that would end up working Duke on the shows.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And they would come over there. Okay, we're gonna need you for 4 or 5 interference spots. You're gonna take 2 or 3 bumps, and it's what in the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Important to be able to do both, though. Important to be able to do both.
You gotta work with everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, in Stampede, we used to get booked in venues where the dressing rooms couldn't communicate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We didn't have cell phones.
That's so cool, man.
So best case scenario, you'd have the ref to go back and forth, maybe get a couple spots in. That would be the match.
Now you got guys that have a Facebook group chat that they're building up, because shows in some of these indies are a month apart. So they find out at the first show, hey, we're going to work at the next show, and then they're in Facebook. They're batting spots back and forth. And listen, some of those matches turn out awesome.
Yeah. Well,
or they shit the bed on the first spot and blow the rest of the match.
Right. But you can't deny the fact that Savage and Steamboat was fucking scripted from top to bottom. WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, so was Brett and Davey at Wembley.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's hear about that. How do you know this?
Yep.
Because Davey told me. Sorry.
I was feeding you. That one. That's what I love the shit. That's why I love the Stampede background, man.
What he told me was basically that they had, I think, 9 or 10 spots, and they just numbered the spots. And they just, in the ring call, that's why you didn't see him talking. It would just be do number 1, do number 2, do number 3.
Right.
Yeah.
So did they have time to like they worked the program where they got to get the...
Sorry, what's that, Divine?
Well, consider how many matches these guys had together in Stampede before they ever did that. So they already had 1 through 8 done. They probably made up 2 on the spot, and we're just calling their old stand legit.
Yeah, man.
When nobody's ever seen it before, it's the most amazing thing in the world. But for us, we see it every week.
Right.
No matter how many times I watch it, it's so good.
Yeah, they broke it out in Gravelburg, Saskatchewan, and by the time they did Maple Creek, they had it down.
So good.
If you said to me, Jordy, you want to watch porn or SummerSlam 92, I'm like, put on SummerSlam, please.
Hey, speaking of which, hey, how about this then? Miss Honey or Miss Elizabeth? Miss Honey from Stampede or Miss Elizabeth?
Oh, Miss Honey all day.
Yeah! Yes!
Miss Elizabeth's out of my league.
Come on, Miss Honey's hotter. I thought. Did you not think? Divine, Dalby?
Listen, man.
You don't remember Miss Honey?
She did not get
The comparison Elizabeth and who?
Miss Honey from Stampede.
Miss Honey from Karachi Vice. Stampede Wrestling.
Oh. Yeah. I'm going to have to lean on the Elizabeth side on that.
No!
What's
the matter with you? You know nothing.
Yeah.
You know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero.
All just rumors and conjecture, Divine.
Yeah, everybody knows I'm a fan of Miss Honey. Okay, fine. We'll slow her down. Then Tim Hortons or Starbucks.
Thunder.
Timmy's.
Oh, fuck. Tim
Ontario boy, he's got a
used to be
Starbucks.
Canadian.
They used to be Canadian, and now their coffee's dog shit.
It's not bad. Dalby, you got to be a...
I never had a cup of coffee in my life, so I just picked Tim's for the donuts.
What? Serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah, when people find out I'm a morning radio guy that doesn't drink coffee, I usually get some weird looks. But I got
what an anomaly.
It's between the booze and the smokes. I got enough to worry about without having to add coffee into the addiction list. So
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Coffee's definitely addicting, man. I love it first thing in the morning, but it's an addiction that I love.
Yeah, so I'll take Timmy's just because I like a good Timbit.
Right. At least I don't sit in line at Tim Hortons every day like I did like 10 years ago. Now I have a Keurig and I just make them right there.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm not as big of a mark as before. Pfizer or Moderna?
I'm going Moderna just because I know that's what I'm getting there, I think, next week.
Whatever's in the needle. Whatever gets me.
Right.
Whatever gets
And that's not the first time you said that, Dalby.
Surprise me.
You told me I had to do what it takes to make it in this industry, all right?
That's right.
I just listened.
There's a spot for everybody, kid.
Right?
Okay, let's that one's a throwaway. So here's where Brett in Calgary or Jerry Lawler in Memphis.
Ooh, fuck. Probably Lawler in Memphis.
You think?
Having experienced Lawler in Memphis now, I'm going to take Lawler in Memphis.
So
Only
tell us about
because
that.
I've experienced Brett in Calgary, and it's different.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so as a kid, I used to go to the shows fairly regularly or watch. So I've seen Brett's heyday in Calgary, and his energy, he was off the charts. I think Owen was a little more over in Calgary than Brett, but that's my opinion as a bigger Owen mark. Okay, when I went to Memphis and the times that I worked for Lawler, the reaction he gets still at this age is deafening in Memphis. Like they just really? He's a god there. He's a god there. Like I'm pretty sure he could murder people on the street and walk away and be like, "I'm fucking Jerry Lawler." Ew.
He could probably date young chicks too.
Like it's insane.
Stiff.
All right.
Yeah. Him and Elvis had that in common.
You're right. See, I was just making the
I can smell my
transition.
Your segues are on fire.
Right. Okay, 90s hardcore or
that's
modern
a solid
hardcore?
segue.
What was that one?
90s hardcore, like ECW, barbed wire stuff, or modern hardcore, like right now, whatever they do for hardcore. Like all the bullshit with exploding light bulb.
The death match and
Yeah.
okay, here's the Dark Side of the Ring just did a feature on what's the guy's name?
New Jack?
I've only watched 20 of his matches. No, New Jack was amazing in the hardcore. The guy who stabbed Dave Arquette.
Oh, Nick Gage.
God, his name is escaping me, and it's
Yes.
I'm
Nick
thank
Gage.
you, Jesus, and I feel like
that's just
I'm
Dolby.
not attempting to insult Nick Gage at all. I've been punched in the
Right,
head
right.
far too many times.
Yeah, man, I got you. I got you on that one.
But Nick Gage does a different. Nick Gage does a different level of like death match than we were used to in the '90s, and I mean like Terry Funk exploding death barbed wire match, notwithstanding, from FMW, who made it their life to do it the right way. You know, like you don't see these kind of things done the right way, except for by the very few like Mick Foley's out there who can really bring structure to it.
Right.
You know, and Nick Gage has got to be in that class because his following right now is just crazy.
Right. Yeah, he's super over.
But reference-wise, I'm going to take the old school stuff.
Old school stuff.
I think if you ask the question, what's more over? I think it's the 90s hardcore stuff, and I think it's because of the 90s hardcore stuff that the modern stuff isn't as over, because human beings are shitty. And we watched the guys in the 90s do some awful shit to each other, and then we wanted more. Yeah. And then we wanted more, and we wanted more, and we wanted more, and to the point where the guys had to stab each other with light tube shards now. And then you naturally are going to lose some people. Some people, like I watched that David Arquette video, and I was just like, turn this off. This is horrific. At some point, it's diminishing returns of the impact of what you're doing. So whereas like the ECW guys to a mainstream audience were doing it for the first time for a lot of people, the fact that you go to a modern hardcore match and they're still chanting ECW in some bingo hall in Fort McLeod, like it has to be the 90s stuff if you're asking what's more over.
Right. Yeah, they still chant ECW. You think Thunder Durango?
You're right. Yep.
Old school.
Shocking.
Okay, so which one is worse? I don't know if it'd be called more over.
That sums it up.
I think that guys get overdoing it, and I'm certainly not going to yuck somebody else's yum, if that makes sense. I will never piss on the way a guy makes
I was pretending like it did at first, but it doesn't.
Here's the thing: if you dig it, I won't piss on it.
It's actually something.
Right.
Gotcha. If you're into it, I'm not going to try and dog it. But here's the thing, man. 90s hardcore wrestling was all new, and it was stuff we'd all seen before.
Yeah.
And to the point, I'm one of those guys that I think for some of us that are in the business, we know what it takes to do that. We know what envelope they're pushing. And it was an envelope I was never willing to. So there was never a point where I was ever willing to fucking ask somebody to do that.
Right.
I would never say, like, yeah, I will pay extra money to watch you smash yourself through a table into a flaming pile of fucking fluorescent light bulbs. That to me is the dumbest shit. There's no payday big enough.
But you're the promoter, and some kid comes and says, I'll jump off that balcony and go through that table.
I'd be like, not on my fucking show, kid.
No, eh?
Yeah, man, there's a limit. Like, this is a true story.
Good
Phoenix
answer.
Taylor came to me one time and said, hey, man, would you ever take a German suplex off a ladder? And I said, not ever. And he looks at me and goes, will you give me one? And I said, not ever.
Right.
Oh, you got to look after the boys, man. And again, I'm not going to piss on those guys. I admire their balls.
Yeah.
I certainly admire their toughness and their resiliency. I don't want to take anything away from that. But at the same time, I think there's a diminishing return when, if you could come to me and say, hey man, I'm going to do this dumb shit for 10 years and I'm going to retire because I'll be able to pay for my wheelchairs, I'm going to be like, let her buck, brother.
Yeah.
But most of these guys are going to be fucked when they're 50 with no insurance, no medical, no therapy, no wheelchairs. They just don't understand. The fans don't understand what they're asking these guys to do for their $20.
Right. Yeah, man. It's gone a little too far, right? Yeah. Okay, so what about which one was worse, the New Jack Vic Grimes balcony spot at ECW, or the scaffold spot at XPW? They were both real shitty, right? They're gross, sick. Like New Jack, but like his life couldn't have been. His life had to have been changed after that, right? When you watch that big fat guy landed right on his head.
100%. Like it was. Yeah, it was. There's no denying that both of them were awful. Right. I'm gonna go with the second one only because there was malicious intent in the second one. The first one was just like, oops, I'm a clumsy fat idiot.
He jammed. He got scared.
Yeah.
He got scared. He said, I can't do it, right? And then so he just pulled him. And he saw, he just like, yeah. But if you saw, did you guys see New Jack? Any of the like the interviews near the end, like the way he talked, like he's pretty slow, man.
Oh, yeah, he's punchy.
Yeah, he's really punchy.
The thing is, I look at old boxers, right? I look at old boxers the same way, right? Like I'm seeing now, Tyson and Holyfield and these guys want to fight again. It's like, okay, those guys can actually still talk, but then you hear certain guys that want to get fighting, and it's like, brother, like you listen to Riddick Bowe talk. I don't know if you guys know who Riddick Bowe is. He was kind of, just after Tyson, just before Lennox Lewis. And that guy can barely speak.
Right.
And it's one of those like, man, I loved watching your fights, but if I would have known it was going to do this to you, I never would have went to one of those pay-per-views.
It's the tough thing to manage in your head now. Like I was a big UFC guy, a big boxing guy, but the same thing, like the stuff that would happen in a UFC fight that used to make me like jump up in the bar and be like, this is the best night ever. Yeah. Is now like, oh Jesus Christ, I hope his wife's not watching.
Right.
You have to, as you get older and as we learn more about like CTE and stuff like that, it gets harder to watch that.
For sure, man.
I get so mad watching the uncontested punches when the ref's standing there watching a guy that was sleeping on his feet already get hit 5 fucking times with his hands laying at his sides. I lose my mind.
And so like you talking about some of the older guys, like I feel like I'm the only one in this group that watched the last Jake Paul fight.
You are.
It was trash, but I found it for free. But they had.
Well, you have to talk about it on your show. That's a different thing, man. Yeah. You're not marking out. You're working.
That's right. They had Oscar De La Hoya doing commentary on that show.
Oh, I did hear that was a disaster.
Sounded like he'd either found literally all of the tequila in the building, or his brain just wasn't working anymore. And he's on there talking about how he wants to fight on the next Triller card. And it's like,
oh no,
fucking please don't, though.
I don't know who, but somebody was mentioned last week fighting him.
I won't be surprised when it happens. I just don't want to watch it.
Right. There was someone that died in Edmonton in the ring a couple years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that was pretty big. A lot of people knew him.
The thing is, I don't want to talk shit about something I don't know about, but the one thing I do know is that gentleman had been knocked out in fairly close proximity to that fight.
That was Tim, right?
Yeah. He'd already had a head injury going into that fight.
Yeah, there was no reason that dude should have been medically cleared to fight that fight. But again, like that's why you have to what you were saying about like when the ref just lets a guy get beat up on. Like that's why we have refs and judges and commissions and all these things are supposed to be in place, not to just fucking scoop money from local promoters, but to actually take care of fighters. Because of course, if a fighter's like offered a payday, he's gonna be like, I'm fine. You need someone to step in and be like, you just failed a concussion test a week ago. Sit the down.
Yeah, the fighter is not gonna be the one to pull themselves, right? There's got to be some sort of a hard rule.
Right? Yeah, it's all not just
too many dollar bills
from themselves.
Right. And pride. You know what? If there's a hard rule, then that takes the ego out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I wanted to fight, but they wouldn't let me because of the stupid test, right?
Right.
You don't have to.
You can shift it onto somebody else and feel better about yourself, and then I don't know, maybe go home and hug your kid.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Hey, fellas, I think that's good for tonight. Lots of stuff to do. That was a good conversation, and I want to make sure that we keep them coming back for more. It's always great to have everybody here, and wow, we got Dalby on tonight. Hope we can have you back more times in the future, my friend.
Yeah,
For
I had
everybody
a
out
lot
there.
of fun. Can I
Yeah.
just tell one story real quick?
You do that.
About how I got started as a heel in pro wrestling. It's actually because of Johnny Devine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Johnny even remembers that we've worked shows together, but I started as a ring announcer in PWA. And I think at one point I came out to the ring and I had seen like Taz doing commentary with these dumb orange sunglasses on. And I was young enough to be like, those look awesome. And I went out that show and I was the ring announcer. I should have almost no impact visually on the crowd other than to introduce people and do the odd interview. And I'm wearing these stupid gas station orange sunglasses that at the time I thought looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I introduced Johnny, who's working babyface that show, and he comes up to me and he does not say this loud enough. He's not working the crowd. He comes up to me and goes, "Those fucking sunglasses look stupid." And then goes his arms up. And from that, he was right. 100% he was right. But a couple guys in the front row heard him. And they laid into me for the rest of the show to the point where I had to take them off at intermission. They still laid into me. And that was where Kurt Sorokin, the promoter, was like, they kind of hate you.
Nice.
Thanks, Divine.
So
Divine got you over.
thank you for telling me that I look like an idiot. But also, thank you for steering like the next 8 years of my life thanks to that. So
There you go.
And the whole thing is, it wasn't a work. Like, he just legitimately didn't like your shades. And he has to tell you.
It looked really dumb. I wish someone else in the back.
It's like having a booger. You can't just let somebody walk around.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to tell him.
Because I would have seen it, I would have been like, watch this fucking guy go out with these glasses. What an asshole.
I'm sure you patted me on the back and were like, "Have fun out there, bud."
Of course you would have.
But Johnny was in working like the one show just as a favor to
boy.
Kurt, was like, someone needs to tell this kid that he looks stupid. And he did, and it was great. I threw them out. I don't own those sunglasses anymore.
Well, you learned. Right? Fellas, thanks for coming on. Hope we
Thanks
can
for
have you
having
back
us, buddy.
again. Dalby, of course. It'd be nice to make you a regular on the RASSLER'S Roundtable, man.
Anytime, brother. You let me know.
Right on, guys. Thanks to all the fans. We'll see you the next time. However, in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of the RASSLER'S Roundtable. Bye-bye now.